The Crimson Fists, a second founding Imperial Fist successor chapter based on Rin's world in the Segmentum Tempestus. They are an army of my choosing. Why is that? I have listened to as much of their stories on YouTube as possible, and my omnibus is still waiting for a read. They are a serious underdog in my opinion, and one of the not many chapters that really take care of the standard Imperial civilian. Masters of hit and run tactics and devout orc slayers. They were the poster boys for GW until some rather unfortunate events. And some more reasonable. Ultramarines are supposedly easier to paint for a newcomer.
Bullshit detected. Take precaution.
And their blue hue looks better on pictures. But getting back to Pedro's boys, yes, the chapter master is called Pedro Kantor. Hooray for Hispanic representation. I am really waiting for some Polish chapter. I had this captain for a longer time and had him painted as one of my first models. As he will be a part of my new army, he needed a redo. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. This time I thought I will leave all of the usable footage in the video. Tell me what you think. Is it better, or rather would you have, as always, a 10 to 12 minutes video with the most important parts? The paints used will be in the description. So before we move into the video, I would really appreciate if you could have a look at my channel. I have more than 90 videos of different format, painting clips, some techniques, shorts as well. There is quite a chunky list of videos where I struggle to paint. As you can also see, there is a whole list of shorts in which I show some current things that I am working on and the history of the miniature models. I would really like some time to show most, if not all of them. I try to post a few shorts every week and a long format video as quick as it is ready. So leave a comment, like, share, subscribe, I will really appreciate it. Also, please have a look at my Patreon. It would really help me with moving on and getting better quality videos out. Every new Patreon will also get a gift from me. There is a Discord channel ready and there will be many other stuff for all of you guys. There is also an Instagram account. Go there and spread the love. After gluing the backpack and the model itself to the base, I had to think about something he would initially stand on. As I am very fond of snowy bases, this was my choice, and it will contrast nicely with the dark blue of the base tone of Kantor blue. The base will be coherent with the model as both will be cold colors, and it should be quite easy to pull off on the rest of the army. I went with the airbrush to do the first color, but it is not a must. It can be done as good with a brush, but just remember to thin your paints and rather do a few thin layers than one thick. As you will see here, I used 3 paints and mixed the in-between tones. The initial paint seemed to have too high of a contrast jump for me. The lightest color, Wolf Grey, was used mostly to dot some spots and for edge highlights. Kantor Blue on the other hand was only there to mark mistakes and for the first mix. For the red base color, it is always good to use a different than a black shadow. If you leave your red paints on the wet palette and they start to separate, you will see that the darker tones are a red paint mixed with some purple or violet. I wanted to make a purple shadow, but the paint I used was too light. As I didn't want to waste time to cover the model and then airbrush the ink, I just used the brush for it. It left some coffee stains, but those were then painted over by red. Painting red details is quite easy. They mix together nicely because there is no white used to make the colors lighter. White is for example used in blues, and when glazed leaves a noticeable dot at the end. Mix the between tones if you want and paint both the fists red, and all of the logos and purity seals with those paints as well. The PeePee cloth can be of any color you wish. There is not that many shades though that would fit nicely with the red and blue. The perfect color on the color wheel between both of those would be purple, but I have already used it for the shades in the reds. As being lazy is very often the best motivator for fast and good enough ideas, I use the same paints that went for the Purity Seal papers. If you want to make some inscriptions on the purity seals, take a fine detail brush with a very good tip and just dab the tip in any paint you want to use. Then just let your imagination free. Crimson's fists have no gold on their armors. I think this is the case. Prove me wrong in the comments if this is not the thing. Painting the metallic details was a mix of fat glazing, layering and dry brushing. Dry brushing delicately came very handy on the pipes as they are so small that they are just made for mistakes. For the bolter, as I wanted it to have that 90s striped look, I painted a part of it ivory and yellow over it. I dare you to try to paint yellow over black, I double dare you. It will take forever and the color will be very thick and dulled down. After the yellow was ready, I took a soft pencil and made some lines to have reference points, and then painted the black lines over the yellow. Afterwards the model was ready and I just gave him a few details on the base. I am really happy with the armor, how it came out, with the rest not so much. What do you guys think? Leave a comment, I would really appreciate it. And don't forget to share, like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.